I fried my batteries with that charger.
Huh.
Well, at least it's a battery, not the
Yes.
unit.
Right.
Yeah.
Batteries are cheaper than the GoPro.
Right.
Because I literally plugged them in to my cord, and it was at 44%, and it went to 0 in the time it took us to cook fish.
What's the beagle's name?
Rory.
Oh yeah, Rory McIlroy. I had a beagle growing up. That was my dog.
Rory.
His name was Buck.
Buck. That's more of a beagle name.
I like Rory too.
We got here.
So good.
Couple. Now the next one. What should be the next challenge? So we did. The first one I did was gar, white bass.
You had gar in there.
Gar, white bass, and channel cat. Guess what won that one?
At which one? So gar,
White bass and channel cat.
probably the channel cat.
Yep. Guess what came in second?
I've never had gar.
That'd be tough to guess. But gar came in second.
Gar came in second. Unbelievable.
I like gar.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, never had it.
The trick with them is to cut all the red meat off.
Oh, really?
The red meat is gross as shit.
Yeah.
But the white meat, it's almost like a mixture between fish
Is
and
that
pork.
is that a bony fish? It's kind of hard to. You should throw a pike in with the mix.
That's hard to get down here, though.
Yeah, it is. You got to go, but like I could easily
one.
get some of that for you, so you could throw it in with the mix. But
So I did that.
but I like pike. I mean, if it's done right, get the white bones out, obviously.
I like pike.
That's a good white fish. Yeah, I like pike. Pike can cook up really good. But that'd be a good one to mix in with the.
But I like the 3. You know, it's not 1v1.
Yeah.
You get 3 options. So we did that one. We did channel blue flathead. And now we did a walleye channel.
I think you throw like pike in against like a channel or walleye just to see if something can come up above an already leader.
Now that we established,
we've established a front runner.
Okay.
Something that can beat it. Is there a fish out there that can beat the channel cat and walleye?
To do a panfish
Somebody have a beer
challenge.
on the table or no?
Probably.
I'll drink it.
We're just talking about other fish to put in with the taste test.
That'll be one. I'll do the panfish challenge. We'll do perch, walleye, perch, crappie, bluegill.
I've always been a catfish guy.
Well,
I enjoy catching them more. I enjoy eating them more.
I'm a walleye guy, and tonight didn't 110% confirm it, but it was like 99%.
You were on fire tonight, right?
Catching them, but I'm talking eating them too.
Yeah.
Like if I had to pick just one fish to eat, I'd be picking walleye. But I romanticize the past on the crappies. Like in my mind, like the last time I had crappies, I was thinking, man, those were awesome. And tonight, you put them up against channel cat and walleye, and I'm thinking, they're great, but they're not as good.
No, it wasn't even close.
No.
Like, it was third for me, and it was a distant third. And I like crappie, but it was a distant third based on the 2 choices that were ahead of it. Mm-hmm. It was no comparison.
And the crappies even got, like, cooked last.
Oh, they
were
the freshest.
Yeah. They were caught yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a walleye guy. Like, I like catching them, I like killing them, and I like eating them. You know?
The trifecta.
Yeah.
I do too.
Are you good at cleaning a pike?
Yes, I can do pike. Yeah, when we went ice fishing in South Dakota, we had a few of them, and I did every one of them for them.
Every pike I catch and kill, I have to YouTube.
Because it's usually a year or 2
just
in between.
Just to remember those cuts, right?
Yeah.
And there's a finesse to getting the side ones, but that knife will feel them bones and it.
That part the actual act of chopping, I got that, but where to chop?
Yeah, where to cut. Yeah, where to get those pieces for sure. Yeah.
But if I catch a 30-inch pike, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, it's great meat.
One,
I love pike.
It's good. Two, you don't get them that often down here.
And there's a lot of meat on them.
Oh, that wasn't what I was thinking, but that's a good.
That's a good 3.
Yeah.
That's a good 3.
We'll call that.
You get more meat off them than a crappie or bluegill.
Yeah.
You get a lot of meat.
You would not get as much meat off a 30-inch northern as you would a 30-inch walleye.
True. The only downfall of the pike is it's just the slimiest, nastiest fish.
I catch blue cats and
like
it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They don't smell quite like a pike though.
No,
Pike has an odor too.
But the guys out there
slime,
that
they're neck and neck.
absolutely hate northerns, I mean, they hate them with a passion.
If
you know what I mean? Like there's not a guy that you either like pike and you'd like to catch them and eat them, or you hate them. And hate them like they'll cut the line before they'll take.
No, it's not like that.
I think it is like that.
You have everybody in the whole fishing community loves the idea of catching pike because they get big, they fight hard, they taste good.
They're aggressive. They're not hard to catch.
And then you have this tiny percentage of walleye snobs that do not like a pike. Like you have 98 or 96% of the entire fishing community would love to catch a pike.
But those walleye snobs are loud, and they let everybody know it.
Yep. And I know it because I am one.
I like catching pike. I always have. I probably always will. I'm just, if I catch one, I'm just as happy as catching a pike over anything else.
I'm a little bit of a walleye snob. Like, I'm the walleye guy who says, you see the meme on the internet. It's like, God made bass so everyone could catch a fish. God made walleyes to separate the men from the boys.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
But I've gone up to Minnesota some years in August where the water temps are a little high, a little warm, and you're trying to catch walleye, and you can bounce them right off their head, and they just don't bite that time of year up there.
That's
but then
the reality
pike,
of the situation.
Go catch pike.
No, but back to what I just said, the reality of the situation is like there are instances where walleye are so easy to catch, it's stupid.
Yeah.
And the same with bass, and then vice versa. Like you're saying, August in a wonderful walleye fishery, and you can't catch them, and then like you go down south, especially down south where bass get their faces punched in by everybody because they're all fishing for them.
Sure.
They're not easy to catch down south.
They got leagues every night of the week.
Right. Yeah.
Think of how many different lures and colors
like
and
these
shapes
bass
and
look
sizes
like
they've seen in their lifetime. Seen that one before.
Yeah. These bass look like Dennis Rodman with all the metal hanging out of their face.
That's Spencer. He's an asshole.
He'd use me for bait. I'm not eating that. Have you guys ever used a bass for bait?
I haven't.
Nope,
No.
I never have either.
I've used them a lot.
Well, Iowa handicaps us because they got to be over 15.
Yeah, but you could chop them up. So I've used them for cut bait before, and I've used them for live bait. And I've caught flatheads on them alive, 15 to 18 inches, and they're still not that great of a bait, but you use what you can get.
Yeah.
Cut bait, they're terrible.
Really?
Yeah, I've used them a fair amount cut bait, and I'm not saying I've caught some fish on them, but not.
Right.
You put them side by side with a shad, and the shad wins.
Well, that's about anything.
But
Or a bluegill or a crappie, and the bass don't hold a candle to them.
Huh.
I mean, I'll use them if I have to, but I don't mind throwing them back. I catch a shad. Shad don't go back.
No, he's just gonna die in a couple months anyway.
Right.
Yeah. But I think you're right, Ryan. I think in Iowa, with some of the size limits that are out there based on where you're getting, whether you're going to use them for bait or not, if you take possession of it, it's got to be.
You could
certain
kill
size.
a 40-inch muskie, chop them up, and use him for cut bait if you wanted. In Iowa.
I'd like to see him used for live bait.
That'd be something.
And is that because you're not taking possession of it then, or how does that?
Anything you
work?
catch on rod and reel in the state of Iowa, if
That's
you can
legal.
keep it and kill it,
Yeah.
like to eat it or mount it or whatever, you could use it for bait.
I gotcha.
As long as it's caught on rod and reel.
Right.
There's the list of bait species that the DNR gives you. You can collect them, net them, you can
Trap.
all that stuff. But if it ain't on that list, you got to catch on rod and reel
Rod and reel.
to be legal.
Which is more fun anyway.
Yeah.
It takes a little more time.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to catch them on rod and reel.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, bullhead.
So the only place. So the only place you'd actually be handicapped is on a lake that actually designates a length limit.
Well, you have
unlike a largemouth
statewide
bass.
length limits for some species. So
and
Iowa,
some of them are based on bodies of water specifically.
I can't remember. I'd
Yes.
have to go
They're
back and
above.
look.
Right.
The other ones.
And I always forget this. The statewide length limit for largemouth is either 12 or 15 inches. I don't use them under 15 because I can never remember. Whether
I
it's
think
12
it's
or
15.
Yeah.
I think it is 15.
I think it's 12.
And then some are
but I'm not sure.
more than that.
Yeah, some are 18.
Yeah.
But a lot of those on the 18 inches are water specific. A
Yes.
certain lake will set a limit.
Yep,
Like,
you have
our
the-
statewide is up to 15, but on our lake it's got to be 18.
Well,
Even though all of our bass are 8 inches.
Right.
it does work that way a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, but it just depends. Like, there's some species don't have statewide length limits. Like walleyes do not have a statewide length limit. If you are fishing a body of water that doesn't have specific regulations for that body of water,
Sure.
you can just assume there's no length limit on walleyes.
Right.
But bass, there is, like, whether it's stated or not, the minimum length limit is 15 inches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or what'd be another one? Man, that might be it.
Yeah.
There's no statewide length limit
No
on
crappie,
catfish,
no-
crappies,
No.
walleyes, maybe northern.
Maybe muskie.
Muskies, yeah, 40 inches.
I bet muskie's
yeah,
got
muskies
a limit.
statewide 40
That'd be
unless
my guess.
noted otherwise.
Yep.
And truthfully, isn't that the only two fish they really stock for a lot of it?
What
is
about-
the muskies and the walleye?
What about
I mean,
trout?
But one has no length limit, one does.
Oh, muskie does not?
Muskie has a 40 inch.
Oh, but
walleye
walleye does
doesn't.
not.
Walleye doesn't.
Only
They just got a 5-a-day limit.
five per day, no length limit.
What about trout?
I don't
Fish for
think
those
they-
pussy fish.
I don't think they have a limit on it.
I don't know, but
Because
there's-
they release them at catchable size.
yeah, they do.
They don't grow. They just
They'll
They get-
They'll
don't they stock little
grow.
guys?
They'll
I
stock
don't
little
think
guys.
so.
They'll stock little fingerlings and then they'll grow to a certain size.
because everyone I've seen has been like during ice fishing, and
But you're talking.
they dump them in one hole,
That's different.
and there's holes all the way around it, and that fish doesn't even breathe a wild breath before it's in a 5-gallon bucket. They literally catch them as fast as they
Well,
throw
you're
them
not
out.
wrong, but you're looking at trout stockings different, like in a different location. So they'll stock them.
I'm talking like ponds around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's different than
The fish local.
streams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like up in northeastern.
Yeah, in
Okay.
the what do they call that? The driftless. Yeah, up in the driftless, they do different stockings. They'll stock brood stock. So you'll have 5 to 10 pound brown trout. They'll just let them go.
Good luck. Watch out for bears.
Most of them, I don't think, get caught.
Really?
Yeah, Rob's caught some monsters. Have you ever been to his house?
Well, Rob's got an insight because Chris up there was the.
He does, but you still got to catch him.
You do.
All I know for sure is if you look at Rob's wall, he's
Yeah.
got some impressive
He's got
mounts.
some good
Hell
ones.
yeah.
Yeah. I want to say he's got, it's like a 12 or 14 pound brown trout.
Holy shit.
That's
Yeah.
a big brown.
Goddamn giant.
Wow.
Big
But I
difference.
forgot he had the insight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the
little,
caretaker.
little insider trading.
Chris will go out and whistle and they'll just come up.
Right.
I missed you. Where you been? But Jay, that Rob that we're talking about, we got to go on a coyote killing or a raccoon killing mission
Oh,
at
yeah.
his place. He's got I don't know how many acres he's got.
He's
but,
got 160.
but he's got a nice
got two
deer
di-
hunting.
2 different properties.
Yeah,
And
he
he got 280.
He needs the raccoon thin.
Thin
So
down a little bit.
wait
There's a
till
bunch
they're
of them.
prime. Let us
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
We'll bring every trap we got and we'll just hit them for a week.
Hammer him from a hard.
I told him we'll get over 100.
Oh, I'm sure you'll shellac him.
I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I like power slammed raccoon.
Yeah,
like
we
a
haven't done
year?
it in a long time.
No, because the prices
Well, the
have been
prices
so
have
low.
tanked.
I thought you guys tore him up last year. Like, there was some
For like a
practice.
weekend.
For like a weekend,
Yeah,
we got
like-
like 4
Didn't
hours.
we just describe as shellacking for a weekend?
But it wasn't to that extent. I think we caught 60 or so in
Yeah,
like a week.
but I mean, we've had years.
But we
where
only
we'll
had-
have
40 to 50 traps out. Where we go down to his house, we'll probably have 200 traps out.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And we'll just stack them up.
Just see how many you can
Yeah.
get.
They're just tally marks by that point.
Right.
Until the next week when I'm skinning them until midnight every
They're
single
still
night.
tally marks. They won't go quite as fast, but they're still tally
No.
marks.
That's just a different market nowadays.
So we did the fish thing,
Yeah.
which was awesome. Thanks for cooking. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the next big item agenda for the day. What'd you do today, Jay?
I bought a boat. I've been talking about this for the last, I don't know, 2 years.
Well, we were talking about buying one.
We were talking about buying one together, right? And so,
like,
no, you know, I just...
You might have outpriced him a little bit.
Yeah. And it wasn't even that. It was, you know, I've been shopping. I've kind of kept my eye on the market. And if I saw a good deal, I was going to go look.
Hell yeah.
And this one just popped up. And, you know, this time of year, it's kind of a good time to buy.
This is the
best time to buy.
Yeah.
Guys don't want to store them. They don't want, you know, they didn't use them as much as they thought or whatever, right?
It's also, coincidentally, the worst time to sell a boat.
Yes, exactly, right? So yeah, this kind of popped up. It's an older boat. It's not new. I mean, it's 20 years old, but I got a 17.5 foot Alumacraft, you know, full windshield. It's got a 90 horse 2-stroke on it. It runs really good. Looks like it was really well taken care of as a one family owned boat for 22 years.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Same
family.
owner.
It went from a father to a son or a son-in-law, something, that kind of arrangement.
Whatever.
And the guy was taken up to the Mississippi River up by Prairie du Chien in that neck of the wood, Harper's Ferry, and that's where he fished. And I guess the place that he was fishing, he had a place to stay, and that got sold. And he kind of lives down by me and was storing it at another family's member, and then that building got sold, and he had no place to fish and no place to store it. He was motivated to sell. So
the poker player walked in.
Yeah.
I got it for $1.50. $1.50. Can you believe it?
He made it sound like there was no poker play though.
There wasn't. He came out with his bottom dollar just right up front.
He's like, I have 8. What do you got?
It was $1,000 off what he was asking for it originally.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, and it's worth that. And it's worth.
I would have got it for $5,500.
It's just worth his wife not nagging at him tonight. Because the last 2 months, every night, you haven't sold that boat yet? You haven't sold that boat yet? Now it's Jay's wife's turn.
Hopefully she's like, when are we going out on the boat? So no, actually my wife is pretty excited about it. You know, we live close to water. I put it on the water today, and I timed it, and I pulled out of my driveway, and I was off in the water in 22 minutes.
God, that's weak where you're at.
And I didn't, and I wasn't. This is my first time.
He's not the most agile.
And so I took my time. I took my time, you know, getting in the water. I wasn't in a big rush, but when I got it out there, I looked. It was 22 minutes. So, you know, when you perfect that, it's gonna be on the water
in half.
Oh, easily. Yeah. So I'm be on the water in 15 minutes if I want to go fishing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it needs a little bit of work. It's an older boat, obviously, but
it only needs as much work as you want to do, though.
Well, I'm not gonna do it. I'll have the experts do most of it.
But what I'm getting at is if it runs good, you know, and it pulls fine, those are the mandatory.
And it did. It ran really good. I opened her up today. It started right up, purred, didn't sputter, didn't cough, didn't do anything weird. Couple little minor things, but I took it straight to the marina. I live right next to a marina there where I live, and I dropped it off for a full winterization service, go through it top to bottom. A couple things that I wanted them to look over and fix, and you know, do the bearings on the trailer, and a couple little odds and ends, make sure the speedometer was working, because it wasn't working, but it sounds like that's usually just a water tube or something's kind of plugged up, but they got to fix that. Bilge pump didn't work, but the guy said, you know, it's never taken on water, so he never worried about it. And I plan on taking this boat on Erie. I'm gonna want a bilge pump. Yeah. So I got to replace a bilge pump on it. Not a big deal, but it's got wide gunnels on it. It's gonna handle the bigger water if I need to.
And, it's gonna be a versatile boat.
It'll be a versatile boat for what I want to do.
Good luck getting it on the coon.
Yeah. So I got a shop for a fish finder. I need good electronics. I want to tell them there's junk.
You should have told. I wish I would have known this, because I would have sold you a good unit.
Good unit?
Well, depending on how much you want to spend. It would have been a good price for that unit.
Remember, you made $100 off me just for holding your breath here, so you would have given a good deal, right? But I
sold it at a fair price.
Fair market price.
Below fair market price. So I just traded it in.
We could have traded tree work too. I got to treat your trees yet too. So we could have made a good deal.
But you can have live scope by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Tired of this Garmin.
So I do that, and then
All the
trolling motor.
crappies that were on that plate were thanks to Garmin Live Scope.
Yeah. Do you have the 32 or the 34?
32.
Do you think it's worth getting the 34?
I just got a Lowrance like I called Ella on the way here because I got the email that my new Lowrance was delivered, and for her to pick it up off the front steps so nobody else took it.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So she grabbed.
Just a brisk 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'll be back here.
But from what I've heard is the new Garmin and the Active Target 2 are very similar.
Yeah.
I have Active Target 2. I haven't used it yet because I haven't had the head unit. Now I have the head unit and I got to mount that. And once that's done,
When you get that dialed in, you sell me your 32 so I can use it ice fishing.
Okay.
Because if not, I'm going to buy one Black Friday.
Yeah, that's a good time to buy.
I'm gonna say
And even when I
Because
was...
the 32 is going to be $9.99 on Black Friday. A 34 is going to be like 17 or something.
You better just buy a new one. Like,
you think the 34 is worth the extra?
no, I'm saying I don't want to sell mine.
No, but I'm saying 34 versus
finish.
32.
I'm saying I'm not going to sell I don't want to sell my 32 for less than $1,000.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably not worth $1,000,
But
obviously.
it's worth you to keep it
To
for
me,
less than that.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Because that's what it's worth. I get it.
Because I put that on the front end of my boat, and I use that for bait. I use that for crappies. I got my other one on the back of the boat, hopefully to figure out how to use it for catfish. And maybe I'll move it to the front of the boat eventually. I haven't decided yet. But I use it all the time. The only way I can justify getting rid of that Garmin is if I replace it, and I don't have the money to replace it.
Yeah.
And unless I got at least $1,000 or more, I wouldn't have the money to replace it. So I'm gonna have to hold on to it. Plus, it'd be dumb for you to buy my used one for $1,000 or even $800 if you could buy a brand new one for $1,000.
But what I was getting at, do you think the 34 is worth the extra $800 versus the 32? Because that's the dilemma I've got. I'm gonna buy one of them.
What's the biggest difference between the two? What are you getting for that
distance
extra?
to see, like seeing targets at a distance is my understanding the biggest difference. So are you, like, if you're ice fishing in less than 30 feet of water most of the time, that checks the box where you should just get the cheaper one. And then what else would you put it on your boat?
Eventually, yeah.
And are you going to be fishing?
But it'd just be crappie fishing brush piles and stuff like that, mainly.
You can get close to crappies.
Yeah.
See, catfish, I think catfish, well, definitely bass and then catfish, the further you can see, the better. But like the crappies I was catching the other day, I was 20 feet away from them and they didn't give a shit.
Yeah. I literally vertical jig them when I fish crappie off a boat.
Yeah.
They don't care.
I snagged the tree 3 times, pulled the branch. I could see the branch arm stretching out, and the crappies were moving with the branch.
Just stay with it.
Yeah. And when I popped the jig off and it went back down, they were like, right back in the restaurant.
That's funny.
So with the crappie fishing, I don't think it matters that much. And if you're not ice fishing lake trout, like,
no, it'd just be for around here, pretty much.
I think you'd be fine with the cheaper
With
one.
the 32. Which is
catching,
still awesome.
And then catching shad, the other side of it, like, you can't throw your cast net over 30 feet.
Or 3.
Right?
So I would get, if I was in your
might make
shoes,
sense.
I would get the cheaper one.
Yeah.
I really would. Unless you want to, like, turn your rig into a tournament fishing boat. Yeah.
It's not the rig for it.
No.
No.
But then at least with the 32, you can use that one. And then if you want to upgrade down the road, you're like he said, it's worth $1,000 to him because of how much he uses it. It'll still be worth that $1,000 as long as it's in good shape. You'd be able to trade it to somebody else for that $900 to $1,000
is
and
the
upgrade down the road.
$1,000 just the transducer and black box?
Yes.
Oh, that's not the head unit too.
Not a head unit.
Suddenly, that's not as good of a deal.
Yeah. But just for the 34 and a black box is like 17.
Because I think I bought the 32 2 years ago, and the black box and the transducer $1,500. So you're saving 30%.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like, I mean, it's a good deal, but it's not like.
Yeah, because normally they're still like 12 or something.
So you're getting $200 off.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm still not going to sell it, but you'd still be better off buying a new one.
Yeah.
And then how much more off that Black Friday?
That's the Black Friday
okay.
price. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd still be better off.
Actually, I was just looking at them. So that's the deals that are going now. Like the 93s are down to $700 for.
Oh, that's crazy, man. Like they're advertising this like it's this crazy deal, but 2 years ago, I bought an Echo Map 9, Live Scope, the LVS 32, and the transducer and black box, and it was $2,900, and this is $2,850.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't on sale.
Yeah.
I just bought one.
Huh. Because, yeah, now with the 34, if you're buying, like, the ice fishing kit.
That's
or
what,
the bundle,
that's what I'm looking at right here.
Yeah.
And they're like starting at $2,850.
Yeah, so that's bottom of everything.
Right, and that's what I bought 2 years ago for $50 more. Not on sale.
Wow.
And yeah.
Yeah.
I just said, screw it, I'm going to buy it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was on sale. But I don't think it was.
But, like, now they got the 93 for $700, which I've got. It's just got a cracked screen, but it still works.
And I got them Black Friday 2 years ago for $500.
Really?
Yeah. Or $550.
And maybe this isn't the Black Friday prices, but that's just what I've seen this week. That's what Bass Pro and Cabela's have put out this week.
I just wait and see what pops up Black Friday.
Yeah. But I just was wondering about the 32 versus the 34 was my biggest deal.
My understanding is the biggest difference is how far you can see clearly. On mine, it's got a real good image, and then you hit that 30-foot range, and it starts to deteriorate. Can you still see shit at 50, 60, 70, 80 feet? Absolutely. Can you tell what it is? You can just see that that's a fish.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and lots of times that's good enough because, okay, I'm fishing a channel ledge, and what type of fish is going to be running that's this large? Because you can still tell it's fairly large. You're like, you got a fairly large fish on a channel ledge and 50 feet of water.
You can
call
process
it a school of shad.
Like, you can figure out
probably
what's
something I
process
want to catch.
and elimination.
Yeah.
It's a predator.
I'm gonna cast at it. You know, so I don't know, but to be able to differentiate species at a further distance is kind of sweet.
Mainly for tournaments and stuff like that.
You get vertical on flatheads, and it's so obvious they're flathead.
Really?
Did I tell you about the one I saw on Live Scope on the Big River? I didn't? Dude, if it wasn't 70 pounds, I'd kiss your ass right now.
No shit.
Yeah. Like, I came up, there's this giant brush pile, and I'm like bouncing a rig close to it, and you couldn't see any indication of a fish in this brush pile.
You're like, there's got to be a fish.
No, I did not think that at all. I just like, there's a brush pile.
Brush pile.
And then this mammoth swims out from under it, comes up to my bait, brushes it.
Felt your arms doing this.
Yeah. It was so fast that I didn't even hardly have time to do that. Like, like, wow, that's a really big fish. And then I got closer because the image clears up as the fish gets closer.
Right.
He moved like 15 feet. Once he got under the boat and I could get a clear image of him, I could see that flat, compressed head. He was big, thick gut, big, thick broomstick tail.
Yep. And
he came up and I felt the whisker brush my bait. Because he came up and touched on it.
There he is.
But he just ran a whisker by it, then turned around and went right back under his brush pile. But you know how they have the blocks on there?
Yeah.
It was set 2-foot blocks, so it didn't have it extended very far out. And he was pushing that 5-foot range on there, which granted you have the shadow's a little bigger than what he actually is. We caught a 40-pounder this summer on it, and it was almost the full 2 blocks, which 48 inches, whatever.
Yeah.
This was well over that. And just thick and obvious. Like, I could be wrong. It was a catfish of some sort. But if I had to bet, I'd bet it was a flathead.
Wow.
But I had a chunk of shad on it, came up, brushed it, and then it was right back in the brush pile.
No,
The brush
thanks.
pile.
Now, if you'd had a goldfish on, I'd ate it.
He was in the mood for live bait that day.
Water temp was 55. Like, you would think that'd be
Mm-hmm.
the time frame where he's going to eat cut bait, but he did not.
Mm.
I just couldn't believe how fast he shot out. 55-degree water, and he was just like right there, and then right back. He was out from under it less than 10 seconds.
Dream crusher.
So he went out
That's what he is.
thinking he might want to eat something, and then for whatever reason,
Changed his mind.
changed his mind. It's like, nope.
Like, you mother-
Female fish. Definitely a female
picky
fish.
eater, right?
Definitely a female.
Picky eater.
But it's just weird to think, like, that fish would have been, like, I'm confident that would have been the biggest flathead I ever caught in my life.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't have got to reel it in. It was guide trip. Client would have reeled it
Or
in.
what else did that fish
Still.
see that made him change his mind? What else could it have been?
My bet wouldn't have been seen, but smelled.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my guess. Like, he touched it, decided it wasn't something he wanted to eat. Like, they got
It wasn't a 4-pound carp. It's not worth my time.
It was 2-day-old shad.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, like, what if it was 1 day old?
Yeah.
I know right where he lives. So I'll be
I'll be
you'll
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a sandbar within a half mile.
Well,
Yeah, because maybe he's been living in that brush pile for a long time.
He might have been.
He might go. You might be able to go right by him.
I was back up there a month prior. The only reason I went there is because a month prior I was in there trying to catch bait, scanning around, and saw the brush. Which, I mean, you see it on side imaging, but I scanned over towards it and I saw 2 on top of it that looked like flatheads. I'm like, gosh, I have a guide trip in 20 minutes. I need bait.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah. And then we went and ran the guide trip, and I kind of forgot about them.
Yeah.
They weren't as big as the one that I saw that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
were opportunities.
Yeah, and they looked like flatheads there too. They were sitting right on top of the tree, not under it, on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't going down there with that 70.
There might be something to that too. But that was, I don't know. And the amount of flatheads that have snubbed me on live scope is stupid.
And, you know, that's the way I think of
Crazy.
ice fishing. You know, you can jig a fish 8 foot off the bottom and they just never touch it.
You know.
And you just think how many flathead go by that bait every single night
And
don't even touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even touch it.
You don't want to know.
They're
Now
assholes.
Now you can't.
Yeah, you
Straight
don't want to
assholes.
know.
Yeah. Now you.
I've seen where people are starting to use live scope from the bank. Like they set up something.
Oh sure.
That would be kind of fun. That would be cool.
You can scan and like, there's a fish and cast.
Yeah,
it.
cast right at
I mean, there's
some thought to that.
There's zero reason why it wouldn't work.
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to have a contraption to support your transducer where it stays in position.
Vertical. Yeah.
You could build that out of PVC. That's like the most white thing you could
Just
ever
a-
do in your life.
Tripod. Stick the tripod down in the sand so
Mhm.
it's stationary.
You know.
Makes a lot of sense if you're fishing a hole on the river, you know.
Well,
you
I
can
was.
look out there and go, there's something over there.
Yeah, I'm getting sucked into it because I was thinking that tonight. And it's funny you brought that up, but I was sitting there catching walleyes, and I'm like, I caught one on my second cast.
This might not be a bad day. He
Yeah.
says.
And then I go like 10 casts without catching one. I'm like, man, what if I just was able to scan and
See where they're at.
Because it's your odds of catching a fish are way better when you're
It's right in
casting.
front of their face.
If you're casting at a fish. So
that
I
makes sense.
made
Odd
10
truth to that.
casts. How many of them were nowhere near a fish?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly 10, because
Yeah.
I didn't catch any.
Yeah.
You know, like,
not proven otherwise.
right. Or possibly they might have all been by a fish. I don't know, but I would like to.
Yeah.
You know.
It's the same theory with ice fishing with the Vexlar. just know if there's something down there. There's no
Yeah.
point in presenting your bait to
Dead ice.
dead ice and dead water. There's nothing there to present to.
You know,
Oh, here's a
especially-
fish that's down there, and get your bait down to it, right?
Especially ice fishing, where
Especially ice fishing.
most fish
you know?
don't even want to eat.
Yeah.
And then you see a crappie come up at 5 foot off the bottom,
Yeah,
reel up to
yeah,
it,
you
catch
get
it.
up to it and catch
You know,
it, right?
it's- That's awesome.
One of the biggest walleyes, maybe the biggest walleye I ever caught through the ice, I was, you have your bait close to the bottom. And I had a few small walleye looking marks, and this is a Vexlar. This wasn't live scope or anything. But you have a few walleye-ish looking marks, nothing crazy big looking. And then this giant red mark shows up 5 feet under the hole. And which is weird to think about, because you got your feet on the ice, and this fish is 5 feet
5
under
feet.
your feet.
It's not very far.
You're going to
Right.
bite my toe.
So I reeled up to him, and as soon as I put it in front of his nose, I barely twitched it. It just reeled up and then would pop like that, and then smacks it. Set the hook, and then he pulls off drag. I'm like, what the this thing,
I'm ice fishing
You're
here.
right. There's drag coming off the reel. And it ended up being like a 26-inch walleye.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Never would have known it without technology.
No,
Never would have ever
Huge.
caught that
No,
fish.
and that's like prehistoric technology at this point in time.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'll
That's what's-
never sell my Vexlar 20. I love it. I
It's
absolutely
perfect
love
for
it.
ice fishing.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's got bottom scan. It's awesome.
Zoom features.
Yes, that's clutch.
Not that I remember even how to use it now.
Wow.
I gotta mark them. Did I give you my other mark?
Yeah, it's out there with the jaw jackers.
Just keep using it. Somebody might as well.
I think the only time I took it out was when I took Mike and Trish out
Yeah.
ice fishing. That's the only time it even left. But every time I charge mine, I charge that one. So
Yeah.
we got 3 that are fully charged, ready to
Yeah,
roll.
there you go. There you go. It's just sad. Like the Markhams have gone the way of the gas auger.
Yes, which I have 3 of those out there too.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and the dude was talking about how he tried to give away a couple of his gas augers. One needed work, one was fine.
Yeah.
People wouldn't take them.
Oh Jesus.
Like he's trying to give
Yeah.
them away.
Well, I mean, you buy a $100 drill and an adapter,
Yeah.
and you're good
Yeah.
forever. You don't have to worry about the carb choke, the carb gumming up. You don't have to worry about bad fuel mix.
Well, you don't have to talk me
It's
into
easy.
it.
Yeah.
I literally never owned a gas auger.
I
own a
still
hand-
own 3.
And you can't
So
give them
today,
away.
you know.
I owned a hand auger until the day that I could buy an electric. And
Yeah.
that I bought an electric. I skipped the gas auger stage, and I'm not a big ice fisherman. Otherwise, I probably would have had one. But I'm glad I waited.
Yeah.
Because I was able, I bought one of those Strike Master. They're nice, but they're heavier than a drill.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why would I have this thing when I could get a badass, Milwaukee hammer drill?
They can use year round.
I was using it today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the time, and then just get an auger bit and have at her. So I sold the
I
lithium.
have 4 of them Milwaukee drills now.
Actually, I sold my Strike Master lithium while I was ice fishing.
Really?
Yeah, I was out on the lake.
Let me drill my hole first.
Yeah. Yeah. I ran into him on the lake, and a couple buddies of mine said, we were just talking, and I was talking about how I wanted to get a drill and I was going to get rid of it. And they said, you're going to get rid of it? Will you sell it? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sell it. And that was literally the deal. Well, let me drill my last hole. And they Venmo'd me the money and then took it off the ice. And I
Guess I'm not moving. Might as well start the heater. I ain't
Yeah,
going
yeah.
anywhere else.
What a great deal. That's awesome.
I found the spare set of blades and met up with them later so they could have a
Yeah,
spare
yeah.
set of blades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first time I had the auger and a drill, I just had the cheap adapter. It was just like a last minute I'm gonna try this.
Oh, there's all kinds of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like drill auger combinations.
The first hole I drilled, the bit came loose and my auger went straight to the bottom.
You lost it?
Yeah, gone. Brand new auger.
That's hilarious.
One hole. I went back later with a magnet trying to fish it out, and I maybe hooked it once, and it was so silty. It was just a farm pond, so it just silted, went down the silt, and gone.
That's freaking hilarious.
Man, did it drill fast though.
This is awesome. Guess I'm gonna fish here today.
That wasn't the one on the drill plate, was it?
That was with no plate. No, it was just a drill,
and
there was an adapter that went to a 1/2-inch chuck, and
wasn't tight enough for whatever reason.
then I went and bought a clam plate.
Okay.
Yeah,
I do like them clam plates.
they're pretty sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it right.
Yeah.
There's nothing I would change on them.
And that's what you're still running right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
See, I
That's the one that runs out.
The
you
blue, you just have a
kinda-
pull trigger.
It's a pull trigger, but you spread your arms out like this to run up.
Yep.
Yeah, I like those too. That's a
Yep.
pretty good deal.
If
I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah.
If I ice fished more, I would buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one for a little while. Like, I had one given to me, but I couldn't figure out the combination of drill plus bit plus adapters to make it work. And then I bought a different one, and that one half-ass worked. And then I bought a Milwaukee with the hammer drill with the handle on the side.
Yeah.
And then whatever the bit is that just goes into it.
Yeah.
Where there's no adapters. Or moral of the story is I have a simpler drill and auger setup, and I'm glad I do, because I can understand how to use it. Because I'm a simple-minded person.
That's right. What we shopping for? Or are you just looking?
I'm just looking. Oh, this is Bass Pro.
Yeah, I think this one's Bass Pro too.
Is that the Christmas one?
I don't know. They both came in last week.
Yeah. I got this one. Didn't get the ice fishing one. They know better.
They know better.
But I threw the Christmas one in the garbage because I didn't even want to look at it. But
Yeah. You saved yourself $1,000 and just threw it away.
probably.
Yeah.
If money was no object, what would you be buying tomorrow?
Live scope.
That's it?
That would be my first purchase.
Okay.
Would be a live scope with a 12-inch screen.
If money was no object, like I'd be buying a goddamn farm.
Well, that's not what's on my checklist, because the next big purchase I'm going to do is live scope.
But you buy a farm and then you make money and
You
then
can put a live
And-
scope on everything you own. right?
Exactly.
Every boat that you own and every ice fishing hut that you have.
I have one on my truck.
There's a lot of times when we go up north, we just drive out, take our trucks out on the ice, and fish right out of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be driving on any water this year, and I'm glad.
Jeez.
I don't know. I say that. I hope I get to do some ice fishing this year. I really do.
You know, we've had.
Are you going to come back? You're going
I'll
to go
be
down
back.
like
I'll be-
December, right?
I'll be
December
back
1?
for Christmas.
Okay.
So the first 2 weeks in December, I'll be down south. The last 2, I'll be here.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So if we got
pheasant
ice-
with my dad.
Oh,
I'm
we
gonna
got
try
ice.
to kill a deer, and then do some ice fishing.
I hope we get some ice.
But
We're a long
hopefully-
ways away from ice right now.
Yeah.
60-some degrees.
Yeah.
I'm leaving New Year's Day.
Okay.
You know what? That's bullshit. I bought a Humminbird Helix 10 Mega SI GPS Gen 4. I paid $2,300 for it.
Yeah, they're like $800.
1,500. Might as well be 800 at that point in time. That was the one where my original graph quit working,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I need a fish finder. Well, and ironically, I went out and pounded on them without a fish finder. So maybe I didn't need a fish. Like I was literally fishing by Navionics on my phone and catching them.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I don't need a fish finder. But then I went and spent $2,300 on one.
Now it's 15.
That was the one I was trading in. See, I'm glad I saw this because I would have sold it to you for like $1,400.
Yeah.
And then I would have saw this ad and felt like an asshole.
Wasn't a good deal.
Below market value, my ass.
Yeah.
This makes me feel better. I traded it in for $1,250.
Yeah.
And you can buy a new one for $1,500 right now.
Yeah. Would
I
you
don't-
pay $250 less for a used one? Probably not.
No.
No.
Not a, well, to add to that, I had the option of $1,300 for a used Lowrance, or $1,650. No, $1,400 for a used Lowrance, or $1,650 for a demo model.
Mm-hmm.
And I paid the extra for the demo model.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I talked to the guys at the marina because they're dealers on some of those fish finders, the Hummingbirds and Lowrance, and sounds like they've got deals on Black Friday too that are coming up.
Looks like everybody does. Isn't that
Well-
kind of like a thing?
Well, but the nice thing is too is that if I go
Good
through
fucking
them,
Black Friday.
but I can go through them too, and they can install it too, which would be pretty.
Well,
nice
it's pretty
too,
tough to
you
install
know.
a fish finder.
So I'll let them do it.
Well, Hummingbirds are great. Well, actually, they're freaking all good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, some have a little, like, I would say, I don't know, I haven't used my Lowrance enough to know for sure.
What's kind of like, what's your top of the list? What does a fish finder gotta have for you?
They all
Like,
have
what are your
everything.
deal breakers? I mean,
They all have it.
They all
like,
have
there's
it.
literally,
They've got to compete with each other, so they all stay up with
Yeah,
the
put it
news.
all
yeah,
on.
like I use side imaging more than I use anything. And
Makes
then,
sense.
And then mapping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they all have a mapping card.
Yep.
Well, no, Garmin has. That's one nice thing about
Garmin has Navionics
built in.
built into it.
Well, Lowrance, you gotta buy a mapping card. Hummingbird, you gotta buy the mapping
Mhm.
card. And I don't know what Lowrance's is like. Hummingbird's pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Garmin's was really good.
Yeah.
My only bitch about Garmin was the durability. Because those Echo maps, you had that plate they stuck it and it would corrode.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they don't take sinkers for shit.
I haven't met one that does. Tell you what, when I ordered this last one, they said we offer screen protectors for $40. Would you
Give
want one
me
of those?
2.
And,
Put two of them on there, right?
And it's-
Overlap them.
and as soon as he said that, the image of the screen on yours just flashed through my head.
What'd you do? Hit it with a big weight sinker?
I was
back
on
or
a guide
something?
trip, and the guy didn't realize that.
He was excited.
Well, he didn't realize it was in shallow water because I had some flathead rods here, then I had a channel cat rod
Okay,
here,
fair enough.
and it was in maybe 1.5 foot water, 2 foot.
Of course.
And the rod goes down, and he gives it a yank, and that sinker comes back and whop!
Oh, it just makes me sick. thinking
No
about it.
way.
And I was up towards the front of the boat, and he said something, but I didn't know what he said. But I went to the back of the boat, and I looked where he was looking, and I'm like, oh no.
But it smoked it. Like, was that repairable? Or
No.
did it
None of them are, because they're touchscreens. They won't fix the glass on any of them. They're
So,
like, buy a new one.
jump?
The left side's fine. The right side is
Yeah. Wow.
The power buttons. Sometimes it turns on.
yeah,
Sometimes.
sometimes it works good, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
I would think about getting an active target. Like I said, I haven't used it, but I will say my initial impressions with that HDS,
Yeah.
it's a machine, bud. Like, and you don't have to dick with the settings. Like with the Hummingbird, you had to mess with the settings, and when you mess with them, like once you understand how they work, you can get a real crispy image.
Mm-hmm.
Lowrance just does it on its own,
Yeah.
which is
Hmm.
if you're a control.
So I'm looking
freak-
at $3,000, probably.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't
Let
know
me
if
look
it'd be
through
that,
here.
I don't know if it'd be that high.
I just did the trade in, trade up, and I got a 12-inch screen for $1,650.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
then you have active target on top of that.
that's just the control head.
Yeah.
That's no transducer whatsoever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I got a brand new one with a transducer for $2,000. So
Yeah.
that's $1,500 off.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we're talking about some big numbers. Makes me want to throw up. No, I don't have very much money.
That's because I spend it all.
Yeah, and actually because of this fish finder, I have a lot less. But But I will say, as a guy who...
I probably afford some of them lures in there. That's about it. Not many of them.
You can get a 6-pack of them.
I will say fishing instincts are more important than the graph. But if you can mix those with a good graph...
Yeah. Yeah, they make up for a lack of experience, that's for sure. You can get
see, but I don't think they do. So here's the situation. You think you could either have a dummy with all the best electronics in the world. Who's parking their boat on top of the most fish? The person who knows nothing with the fish finder, or the person who knows all kinds of
Do
shit?
they know how to use the fish finder?
Is it on
They just don't know.
Is it on a lake that neither one of them ever fished? They know nothing about the lake.
Yep.
Because that's a big part of it too.
All things equal, I just told you the only difference.
Well, then I think it might be the electronics on that one.
On a river, I would say the fisherman. On a lake with zero knowledge, I would say probably the electronics.
Yeah,
I'm picking the guy who knows fishing.
But if you're on, let's say you're on
river
our
guy.
local reservoir.
Yep.
What's the time limit to get on the fish?
Where you can't see
like within an hour?
Yeah.
You know, like
that trends towards the fisherman a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but if you've got all day, and you can use the electronics and have the time.
50,000 acre lake.
Right.
but
but all those factors are going to play a factor into this.
And if
factors
do
play factors.
Absolutely.
And if you've got no knowledge where the actual river is, or no knowledge where the brush piles are, or I mean, as long as they're not visible.
But you're a river guy, so you're thinking of this like no moving water, no visual cues. Whereas you can look at the bank and have a real good idea of what's going on under the bank. Are you going to be spot on every time? No, but you're going to have a good idea. Like if you pull up on one side of the bank, like your home lake, prime example, you know, you're on the east side, everything's sloping. It's shallow. The only spot where the creek channel runs close, guess what? The bank's real high. On the west side, the bank's high because the creek channel runs the majority of that section of the lake.
Yeah.
Like you just look at the bank and then know that like there's a creek channel. And then you also would know that the electronics guy would know like it's spring, fish are going to be here.
Right.
It's fall, fish are going to be here.
Yeah.
It's summer, winter, fish are going to be bulk of population shift. Whereas if you have this foundational knowledge, you go there right away. Mix in a fish finder with it, you're lethal.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're like the dumbass with just a graph and you're driving around in circles all over the lake because you don't know where to start.
Know where to even start.
Will you get to the same point eventually? Yeah.
But that's where the time factor comes in. That's why I said like,
and that's why I said
how much time
hour.
and how like how big's this lake and how much time do I have? Because
that's why I said a big ass lake.
Because a good
with
fish
no
finder can do a lot of that work for you. But you're exactly right.
My hope is to eventually be the guy with the good graph because I bought one. and then
combine the knowledge.
And hopefully I have enough fishing knowledge to, find the fish. We're going to find out. Like, I dabbled in the tournament thing this year, but I'm going to go whole hog in it next year.
And then finding them's totally different from actually catching them. Because
you ain't wrong.
Because then all of a sudden it comes down to that presentation that's going to work. And sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you don't. You know?
I just want to beat everyone's ass in fishing.
I mean, is that too much to ask?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, transferred from the wrestling world, now it's just fishing.
Hopefully I do better in fishing than I do in wrestling.
Well, that's all right. Hopefully I get on a couple of the tournaments with you this year. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there'll be some good ones. You gonna do Milford?
I'd like to do the March, April, May ones. Okay. They were all, one was down by you, and then the other two were up closer. Milford and somewhere in Iowa. Was it Mississippi?
How many people on a team for that one? Is it
3?
It's 3.
The March one might not work because Seth wants to bring his dad.
Oh, that's fine.
But
I could get
the Mississippi ones. Those would be good ones to do too.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to think. There's a pile of good ones. Oh, you know what the real fun?
Afton was one.
Alton,
and then Milford, and then over there, I think. I thought it was.
There's Milford for sure. Alton.
Yeah.
Oh, down by me, Bama.
Yes.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
for sure. 100% on that one. We should do the Missouri River one.
Okay.
We'll work on your bumping skills. And hopefully we incorporate some. Hopefully I can figure out some new stuff. We'll see. But
Yeah.
like new techniques.
A little strolling.
Some strolling. Yes. Hanging a minnow. I like that one the best. Hanging a chunk.
Hell yes.
But that one.
They all similar price pools, or they got?
They're all
is there
the same.
some? They're all the same.
I think
Okay.
they're all $300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it just.
Well, you could.
Then it's just based on how many teams registered
Yeah.
show up.
You could do some high stakes ones. There is. They call it mega bucks. It's a $2,500 entry fee. They'll pay $50,000
Yeah.
for first place. I'm not gonna fish that one this year. I have to. Like, there's so much
Build some confidence.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's so much
Yes.
confidence.
You just need a sponsor.
A sponsor helps, but I don't want to piss away that money.
Yeah.
So I don't like to donate, which I've been donating a lot. 'Cause tell you what, tournament fishing is not regular fishing.
No, for
Yeah.
sure. It's a totally different game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same thing when I'm playing poker. A cash game and a tournament. Two totally different games.
It's the
Not the
exact same as playing poker.
It's totally different games.
Fishing and tournament fishing, well, tournament fishing and poker are closer than
I get it.
fishing and tournament
I
fishing.
get it. I can
100%.
correlate pretty easily.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's where, like, on a bigger event, like on a $2,500 one, that's where you want to sell some of your action. And poker players do this in tournaments all the time. So if you don't want to fork over the full $2,500 on yourself and be 100% of yourself, then you sell action. So then you sell, say, 25% of yourself or 50% of yourself, and you get somebody that's got the bankroll that wants to invest in your fishing skills and talents. Okay, let's say I buy 50% of you. I'll buy 50% of you and fork over half of that entry fee, and then I get half of whatever you earn in return. And if you don't win anything, it's just on me. It's just, you see what I mean? So you
Like a Calcutta.
It's like a Calcutta.
When I
type
used to
thing, but-
rodeo, that.
But that would
selling
be
the
the way
Calcutta.
that,
Yeah,
like,
that
if
makes
you want to
sense.
do a $2,500 one, that would be my recommendation, is to find some people that are willing to stake you and sell some of your action. Now, when you get that $50,000, you don't get it all because you've got investors that have invested into the event.
Feeling like investing, Jay?
Right. Yeah, I would invest in you in a heartbeat, Absolutely. No, I'm dead serious. That's something that we can definitely talk about. But if that's something that you want to do,
No, my plan.
I would definitely do it.
As an investor, you'll like hearing this plan. I think you really will. My plan is that it's the Megabucks tournament. They have it on the lower Mississippi. The reason I'm not too keen on it is I have zero experience fishing that type of body water. Like, I'll go to a place and I'll feel okay never having fished it if I fish somewhere similar.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never fished anything like it.
Okay.
But they have some lower stakes tournaments, not in that specific area, but that general section of river.
Mm-hmm.
For instead of spending $2,500, I could go buy in for $300 or $400.
Makes total sense.
So I'll
get experience.
Get some experience in that style
Just
of
to
water.
see like what it looks like, how it fishes,
Right.
and then like whether I'm
You'll be a lot more relaxed over $300 than $2,500.
100%, 1,000%. I mean, it's already expensive enough. Like I'll spend $1,500 just on gas and lodging.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly right.
But so you go from a $2,000 trip to you double the price of the trip essentially with that entry fee. But yeah, I'll go down there, get hopefully a feel of what it's like, and if I get my teeth punched in, then I'll, on that Mississippi tournament I fished this year, that's what really was the eye-opening one. I'm thinking, I'll do fine. It'll be great. Went there and pre-fished and caught some fish. Nothing consistent. I was a little concerned because we found one pattern that played out a little bit. Nothing consistent. But prior to that, I thought, it'll be no big deal. And I signed up and you get there and you're like, shit, it is a big deal. Then you go fish tournament day and I catch one fish and I'm thinking, well, if I had a tough day, I imagine everybody, like, there's going to be some other teams that have a tough day. No. Like,
it was just me.
Yeah.
Just me.
Like, literally, every team caught him but me. I was so goddamn embarrassed, And it's not even like I'm embarrassed because people think I'm a shitty fisherman. I'm embarrassed, like I'm embarrassed of my own thoughts. Like, in my head, I thought I was a shitty fisherman, and the other side of my brain was like, I'm embarrassed because you are.
Got beat by 3 12-year-olds.
Basically. So that was a real, everybody needs that reality check every once in a while.
And if you're going to start a venture like this, we talked prior to this that last year was just for experience, and you needed that to be part of your experience.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to just beat the brakes off everybody from
because you'd never get better, ever.
I would, but but I wouldn't have the same perspective I do now, which that perspective I think is important.
Because you're gonna fish that same tournament next year, and you're probably gonna be looking forward to that day.
I am now.
You're like, I'm gonna win this.
Because after that happened, I went and spent a week out there.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks later, I'm fortunate because I ran across a few dudes who helped me out as far as getting there, and like I didn't have to pay for a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that's huge, and I didn't have to sleep on a cot for a week and not shower.
Right.
So like that's
a bonus.
That's a big bonus. So I ended up staying there for a week and fishing for a week. Do I have it dialed in 100%? No.
But you have a basis of information now.
I have a basis of information, and there's things that I found out nobody else probably knows.
Yeah.
And then I'm missing things that everybody knows.
Sure.
And how that plays out in tournament day, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm light years ahead of where I was.
Yes.
And
I would say just in the big river realm alone, you've gained so much knowledge this past year. Just on big water.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the baseline was very low.
Yeah.
So to be able to go up from there, it wasn't like.
Let me grab this quick.
Oh.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt the story, but I had to leave because that was a local cop that I'm friends with.
Okay.
And my son's in town, and he's not always the most responsible individual. So my first thought was, oh shit, what the hell did he do? Luckily, Mike just wanted to know if I wanted a raccoon that he caught in the live trap. So I bailed on you guys, and I apologize, but my heart just hit my ball sack when I saw it was Mike on the phone.
And you were never more thrilled to get a $4 raccoon in your entire life.
I'm like, I don't want it, but I'll come get it right now.
All your yelling scared Rory.
Oh my God, that scared the shit out of me. But we're good now.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good phone call.
What about Rory?
Who cares about that dog? That dog's an asshole. She's so cute and cuddly.
She seems terrible.
Until she's not. Well, you saw her steal the sweet potato fries off the table earlier.
That doesn't make her.
And she pulled up and got like one too. Like that was talented.
Well, if she took the whole plate, we'd notice. If she only took one, who's gonna notice just one?
You got away with it. You got away with it, didn't you? Yeah.
You started yelling and she climbed up on my lap and like cuddled in, like protect me.
Well,
from
it is nap time.
The
Usually
scary,
she's in bed by
the
now.
scary ride monster.
She's usually in bed right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker.
She
for
was curled up there on the couch there for a while until you jumped up.
I'm a big sucker for beagles.
Yeah, she is a good dog. She's just gotten, like, she's very food oriented. Like she'll attack River over a little piece of food. And River's looking at her like, come on, dude. For real. And then heated blankets. Like if we're laying in bed and have a heated blanket, because she always sleeps with the girls, and one of the girls tried to pick her up off the heated blanket, she tries to kill him.
Yeah.
Like
she don't want to move.
She's for real.
Yeah.
So good thing she's only 5 pounds, because she's a pain in the ass.
She's bigger than 5 pounds.
That was neither of those were things I was expecting you to say.
And
I was expecting to be like stubborn, and then I'm thinking like a hound.
yeah,
Stupid, like a hound.
No, but the other day I was out skinning beaver, and the dogs were out there, of course, and she was over one of those beaver like she was a lion on a kill. Like anybody would even look at her, just
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard a beagle growl.
Oh, she's a growler.
I believe
That's her thing.
100%.
That's how she communicates.
I
Just
kinda-
bitches at people.
I kind of want to see it now, because I've never seen it.
I got a Maltese Pomeranian that's about 5 pounds, and her growl is hilarious. It's like, you're 4 pounds. Shut up.
When
You
Skip,
can't
when,
eat the cat.
when Skip barks, he doesn't bark, he box. He's like,
What is he? Is he from Boston?
he sounds like
Park the car in the dock. Back.
I don't even know what he looks like, man. He looks like, you know, the skulls for Cinco de Mayo as the decorative skulls?
Mm-hmm.
He looks like one of them with hair on it.
He's a muppet.
Or animal. He looks like animal.
There you go.
Well, have you seen his collar? We got him a collar that has animal on it from the Muppets. It's perfect. I think I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of fishing with him this winter.
Yeah.
Now that I got an enclosure, and then I'll be able to do more day trips instead of like multi-day night trips, or multi-night trips, day whatever.
Yeah.
Where I'm on the road.
You have a place to go to.
Yeah, I have a home. I won't be homeless for a while. That'll be cool.
That'll be nice.
But yeah,
Where are you gonna do most of your fishing this winter? What's kind of your long-term plans right now?
From basically chunk of December, and then all of January through April, I'll be on the Tennessee,
Okay.
up in northern Alabama, which that's a whole bunch of reservoirs. I'll be on Wheeler, Gunnersville, Nickajack, and if anybody wants to book a trip, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not tropical, but it is warmer than the upper.
And if you know
Northern
catfishing, you know those 3 reservoirs because they have
Fact.
monster freaking
Fact.
blue cat in them.
And I hope I know the catfish in the reservoirs very personally in a short period of time. I'm excited. I got the hookup. Mark Cooper, he runs the YouTube channel Top Knox Fishing, and he also sells skipjack.
Hell yeah.
So
That's huge.
I called him and it's like, hey, can you give me some skipjack?
Can I have like a 4-month supply?
Well, that's what he told me. He's like, is 400 good? And I'm like, dude, my deep freeze only hold 2. He never texts me back. I don't know. He might be disappointed in me.
You know, a normal guy'd buy a bigger deep freeze.
Yeah.
Minimum orders 4.
Us poor fishermen, we can't afford that big one. Maybe someday. I'll.
You just gotta win that 50 grand.
Oh, I'll have 2 deep freezes. But yeah, got a hold of him. Got a hold of a different bait dealer. I'm not gonna say his name.
He was not so generous.
Well, he's an awesome dude. He really is.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to hang him out to dry just because, you know, I like giving him shit, but I'm not gonna. But
Was it
anyway.
the guy that fished in that veterans tournament with us down there?
Not gonna say nothing. All I'm gonna say is I texted him and said, "Can you get me 100 skipjack by the first Monday in December?" And he replied, "Ha ha 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 ha. Did you smoke weed today?"
That's great.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
Can you?
I'm like, I had no idea this was an reasonable request. Like, I
That's
thought 100
hilarious.
skipjack would be reasonable, but
Yeah.
I was incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're up to 4.
Yeah, I mean, and guy A is in a different part of the country than guy B.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing too, you know, like certain places are good in the winter and some aren't. And,
Yeah.
And I think that's the big difference. And I'll probably stop on the way down. There's a couple hot water discharges that you can put your boat in and run up and fish for skipjack at them. A couple hours north of where I'll be at. And
Yeah.
I'm going to stop at them and try
See
to
if you
catch
can,
as
see if
many
you
as
can
I
load
can,
up.
you know.
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't told Ella that, but
surprises. They love surprises.
Yeah.
They love
Yeah.
surprises.
Just a
You
little.
know, some flowers or skipjack.
Wait,
You know.
why'd you take the exit here? Like, oh, hold on, honey.
I thought you were asleep.
Just wait, you're gonna love it.
You think I smell bad now? You just wait.
I legit think Ella would have an absolute blast on a good skipjack bite.
I bet. I think anybody would.
That was my next thing.
Yeah.
It's like she is also like every other person that would have a blast doing that. Like, who doesn't enjoy catching 1 to 3 pound fish 4 at a time on a city rig, you know?
Absolutely.
You haven't got on a good one, have you?
We only fished for him once. We didn't catch a single one.
And I've only got on a real good bite on them one time ever. I mean, I've caught, you know, it's basically white bass fishing.
Mhm.
Well, just fishing where you catch one every 10 minutes. That sucks. But I got on a fire one where we put 100 in the cooler in like an hour 15.
Wow.
I had 4 of them on my line because you fish in the sabikis. I had 4 of them on at one time. Only landed 3. Or maybe
Still.
2.
Yeah.
But they're all 1 to 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have your line with your 4 hooks and they're just trying to jump. You know, just all over the damn place. And yeah, you land what you land, but it was so much fun.
That would be cool.
I hope to see it a bunch.
That's a different world down there. Like you transitioned from your small river kayaking and small river, you know, boating, and you're just pretty much a big water guy now.
You would think that, but I'm not.
Well,
People are like,
So is that why you upgraded your boat here recently too? Is that
no, it's
kind
all
of
part
one
of
of the
the
changes?
system, is the way I look at it. And how can I be the most efficient within my system? Like, I want to catch big fish year round.
Mhm.
I want to catch big blues. I want to catch big flatheads, and then the miscellaneous other stuff. But those are the 2 big targets. And different bodies of water, different parts of the country require different things, and I want to be outfitted for all of it. So you go down south, I want to have we're talking about skipjack. I want to have a good bait for down south.
Mhm.
That's not the only bait though. Like live shad, that's a good thing to have.
Yeah. I
have a shad tank, so I'm outfitted for that. And you got to have you don't have to, but it's good to have a big water boat for big water.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a big water boat, but if I'm going to be on small water, it'd be good to have a small water boat or a kayak, which I have a kayak. And I don't know, I get a pile of comments on my YouTube videos, like, do more kayak videos. I'm like, there's no goddamn water.
You want to see me walk my kayak?
Yeah.
Don't need a
we can
kayak.
make a video.
Like,
It's ankle deep everywhere.
I literally
Yeah.
exercise every day. Okay? Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to have that type of exercise where I'm dragging my kayak.
Well, the kayak waters, they're not even flowing. You just walk them.
No,
There's
you-
nothing.
You have
know?
like a piss stream of
I mean,
water
it's
in a
horrible.
pool, and a piss stream of water in a pool.
Right.
Yeah. And those pools have funk on top of them.
Oh, it's gross.
It's terrible.
It sucks, but like I would
This is
love to
2
kayak
years.
more.
Yeah, I miss it just as much as you guys
Yeah.
do.
Actually,
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I miss it 100,000 times worse.
Right.
At least, maybe more than that.
But this is easily 2 years in a row now. Of
4.
just
This is the
This
fourth
is the
one.
fourth
year, but
Fourth
I'm like,
year.
the last 2 have been horrible.
But
And it's
more-
just,
Yeah.
it just keeps getting worse and worse.
Moral of the story is I have boots, I have waders, I have a kayak, and I have a big water boat.
And you don't need the kayak and the waders, and you just barely need the boots. I mean, it is shallow.
So I'm outfitted for whatever.
Right.
Whatever the whatever the conditions make it. Like, I want to catch big blues, big flatheads. Whatever the conditions require of me, I'm outfitted for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I still have my big bait tank. Now I have a deep freeze. You know, like, I can keep live bait. I can freeze a bunch of bait. I got coolers, like all that shit. The only thing I don't have is money because I spent it all.
I am here. I want to be here. Now I'm looking forward to coming down. Is that too soon?
No, it should be good.
Because that's kind of the timeline that works for her, and I had some vacation, so I just didn't want to have you get down there and then all of a sudden I show up.
Yeah, you're taking a lease down this year, aren't you?
Yeah, we're gonna go down for a few days. We're gonna go on a trip.
Yeah.
Part of it's gonna be I'm gonna stop by and see them and see the house and fish a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna go on a trip.
That's
Wherever
awesome.
we go, we go.
I'll let you know if we have a bed for you or not. We might.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
We might not. But I guess I have 2 guide trips booked. The second Monday and Tuesday of December.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm not going to book any more. I want to because I could use the money because I'm broke. Just like I told you. But I'm not going to because I need to spend the time to dial in a bite. Or actually, I need to dial in like 2 or 3 patterns because, you need to have a progression for guide trips. But so I need that time to do that. So other than the first Monday or the second Monday, Tuesday of December, anytime other than that. Hell, you can still come down then. I'll just be running guide trips. You can.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll probably only have 1 day to fish because we'll just be kind of in, out, and through. But I just want to come down and kind of see your stuff. And I'm excited for it.
We got some money put away for furnishing the home. Hopefully, there's enough for 2 beds, a couch, a fridge, and a washer dryer.
Basics.
Yep. And maybe like some forks to eat with.
You're not gonna take your forks with you?
No, we gotta leave them at the other house.
You could take half of them.
You only need one.
I got like 8 plastic ones. It'll be fine.
Just don't put the dishwasher on hot. It'll melt them.
Right. No, I'll hand wash them.
It's clean.
Hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm up for adventure. If you want to check some boxes off.
Good. I have a boat that goes fast now.
A lot more boxes to check off.
Yeah, we can get to the boxes faster.
Yeah, I'm kind of pumped about
That reminds me, when I was in North Carolina, the lake was down 7 feet that we fished, and we saw a dozen different catfish boxes.
it. Really?
Yep. And there was one cove that had 8 of them in it. The rest of the lake we saw 4. One cove had 8.
Wonder where I'm going to start fishing.
Right. That's what Colby said. He's like, I'll be back here in April.
That's crazy.
You know, it's a different world, man.
Yeah,
I think noodling's legal in Bama.
I'm sure it
I
is.
think it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
I think it's legal there. Oklahoma, I think. It's
100%.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's
So I've
legal.
I have noodled in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know? Well, I guess that doesn't mean it's legal, but
Yeah.
I've noodled in Oklahoma, and I promise you that it was legal.
Yep.
And then I think there's 8. I think there's 8 states. You can Texas, Oklahoma, Bama, North Carolina, Louisiana. I think there's maybe Arkansas might be another one. They're all down south.
Yeah.
I know there was seasons on Missouri. I can't remember if it's still legal there, and there was seasons on Kansas. I don't remember if it's still legal there.
Interesting.
Them's the noodling states.
So the seasons is just pretty much spawn, right?
Oh, you can noodle in Florida if you want to. That's legal there. Ain't no way in hell. Whatever. I've seen what lives there.
Holy.
Yeah.
How?
I would think Louisiana would be similar to.
Yeah.
Oh, it
I
is.
don't know that I'd want to
They
just
just-
noodle there
They
either.
just don't mind losing fingers in Louisiana.
You got 9 more.
It's, I don't know. You
God
grab,
gifted me all these spares.
you grab a gator, you ain't gonna have many spares left.
No. Pass.
Water moccasins.
Well, those are all everywhere but Iowa.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, one of the beautiful things about Iowa is you can traverse
Not
the
everything wants to
landscape.
kill you.
Yeah. Like, there's minimal rattlesnakes. There's a few,
There's a few here.
but minimal.
Yeah.
And then you have no gators, no water moccasins, no copperheads, no alligator snappers. You got common snappers, but you'll do with a common, you'd lose a finger, not a hand.
Right. Well, and we don't have the bears and the mountain lions and even some of the larger predators that can all kill you. We just don't have them.
Yeah, we don't have the habitat to support those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't like to live in cornfields.
Well, some do. Some get scared out every year up in northern.
Nothing like that'll kill me. I'll trip on the sidewalk and fall.
Yeah, absolutely right.
That'll get me.
Stab myself in the eye with a pencil or something. Bleed out before anybody finds me.
Get an infection with a hook, get caught on your thumb or something. Yeah.
I hope for me it's a heart attack when I'm reeling in a 100-pounder.
That's right.
Get them in the boat, put them in the bottom of the boat, do everything. I'm like
both die together.
No, I was gonna say, but like hold them up for the photos and everything, and then let him go, and then he swims away, and I'm like. Hopefully, when I'm like 98.
Yeah.
I don't want to live that long. I'm not gonna be able to move after like 70. I'm just gonna be a rock.
I had somebody comment.
We got a bite over there.
There's somebody who commented on that video where you're talking about your shoulder.
Yeah.
And he said, tell your buddy to take care of his shoulder because apparently he was way up climbing on a ladder or something like that, and he fell because of back or shoulder pain. And so he fell like 30 feet.
Yeah. It's a long ways.
Yeah, and just like got all messed up.
Jacked up.
Yeah.
How's your shoulder now? I knew it was really hurting you.
Yeah, it's good now.
It's good now.
Yeah. A thing.
I think you could reel in 150 right now.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I might even be able to stand up and hold it.
Yeah. You can take care of it, right?
Because I ain't holding your face.
Yeah. Yeah, even that 65 hurt to hold it.
Oh, when you stood up with it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, it frickin' hurt. Yeah. But some things you just gotta do.
Right. So you don't get a 65 every day.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Even though we got one 2 days in a row.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got 280s within 3 hours of each other.
God, that was crazy, guys. You guys caught some big fish pretty quick. That was a good trip.
That whole trip. You know, even
pretty awesome.
Even the last day, we
The
got
slow
a couple
times
40s.
were like
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Oh, we only caught 6 20s in that hour.
Yeah.
Were the conditions just perfect, or was it just everything was just aligned and it was just one of those? It's just a good trip.
They were okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it wasn't. It
But
was
it wasn't
more
like,
bluebird skies than you would want.
Yeah. It wasn't one of them days where I'm like, I have to be on the water. It was
Yeah.
one of them days where I thought it might be good. It'd probably be good.
Yeah.
It was better than good.
It
was better than good.
Slightly above average.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it be something if that was the average?
Oh man,
I don't know. We'll see.
I'd be jobless if I could just go do that every day. Yeah,
I'm trying.
as long as I could afford gas, I'd
That's
catch
easier
plenty of
said than
food.
done.
Oh yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I filled up my boat when I first got it. Thankfully, I haven't had to fill it up since, but center up to the tippy top, 51 gallons. You do the math.
Yeah.
We're at just under half tank now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
I will
you've used
say,
it quite a bit though.
I put 6.5 hours on it.
A little bit better than the jet.
It ain't even broke in yet.
Yeah.
Like, it'll get broke in and
Yeah.
it'll be even better than that.
I did the Quick Star rewards of filling up fuel and buying food and drink at Quick Star, you know. And so you're racking up those fuel saver points and
Yeah.
didn't really realize how much I had. And so then I knew I had built quite a few up and I was going to use them. And so I ran my truck down to about as low as I possibly could. I coasted into town on fumes just so that I could like maximize my reward, you know. And so anyway, I rolled into town, completely empty tank. And I said, would you like to use this reward? Oh, yep, click yes. Guess what it dropped my fuel price down to?
Like 5 cents a gallon or something like that.
.019. It was like 2 cents a gallon. So I filled my tank for 35 cents.
Holy shit.
That's what it felt like hitting the lottery.
They didn't have like a maximum gallons.
Maximum gallon is up to like 20 gallons, I think.
Okay.
And my tank's not that big, so on my
Oh
truck.
yeah,
So I filled my
you don't
truck, my
drive a
Colorado.
full
I got the
size.
new Colorado out there.
That's right.
So yeah.
I
How
was
did they pull
thinking-
your boat?
You know what? Pulled it really nice.
Really?
And you knows back there. Pulled it
Hell
great.
yes.
Because I was
Very,
thinking
very
the
simple.
full size life when you said, because it's usually 20 gallons.
20 gallons,
So
yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's why I wanted to maximize the reward. So I wanted my tank empty to get
but that's
full
like 3/4
15,
tank
16
for me.
gallons. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But yeah, .019, and then, ding, 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 I fill it all the way up, 35 cents. That's what it cost me.
Yeah. I was pretty tickled
That's
on the way
awesome.
here. I got 17 miles a gallon. I'm like,
That just means you're gonna fight the wind on the way home. So it's
you
gonna,
ain't wrong.
yeah, it's gonna be 9.
No, the truck did pull it really nice. I pulled it home, no problem, and then...
Because that's a heavy boat.
And then I got up on the interstate and went a little faster, got up to 70, 72 mile an hour, and it just purred. But that 2-stroke motor is a lot lighter than a 4-stroke, so that
That
90
don't
horse
affect
is a
your
bit different.
towing none.
But it's just lighter when you talk about weight.
Yeah.
I mean, it cuts a little weight off of it, but no, it pulled it beautifully.
Now
So-
the aerodynamics affect pulling them boats as much as the weight does.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
100%.
And his has got a full windshield on it too.
Well, that's what I was getting at with my boat. My new one, it pulls a lot better than my old one. And I wonder how much that windshield affects that.
Yeah,
Diverts it up and over.
Yeah.
probably makes a
But
difference.
you got, like, there's so many good things you got going with your boat, man. Like,
Mhm.
it is a good size. Like, it's not too big that it's hard to pull, but it's not so small.
They
You feel
can
like
fish
it's,
have
3 out of.
right.
Yeah.
or
Right.
you feel like you're in a tin can out
Right.
on Erie. Like,
Right.
it'll fish well on Erie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, you got the full windshield, and it's wide, so it's stable.
Mm-hmm.
You're just
And you got storage on both sides, all the way up.
Got some
Yeah.
room there.
A lot of good things
Yeah,
going on.
I'm gonna
with
be able
that
to get
boat.
it going the way I want, and it's not a forever boat, but it'll be a good boat.
It
It'll
could
be one that
be like
you know.
legit.
I can have it for a long time. Who knows?
You-
know?
Yeah.
You might be just as well off stripping that, like paying somebody, like not even doing it yourself, paying somebody to strip that thing to nothing, rebuild it back, and put a brand new ass motor on there, and be money ahead.
Oh, you're probably right.
Versus
Be way
buying a
ahead
brand
buying
new
new
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strip that thing down, repaint it, new upholstery, new.
Not
motor.
even repaint it.
Even
Who
all
gives
that.
a shit what the outside looks like? like strip the
Well, I get
inside
it,
out,
Yeah.
new plywood, rebuild it exactly how you want,
Mm-hmm.
slap that windshield back on there. You don't even need a new windshield.
No, it's a good one. It's
Yeah.
not cracked or. I mean, yeah. I think you're right. It's a good point.
You could make that boat last 10 lifetimes if you wanted to, because
Yeah.
the hole.
Oh, the hole's
yeah.
solid. It didn't.
Once you don't punch a hole.
He was right. It doesn't take a drop of water on there.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to put a bilge pump on it to go
Yes.
to Erie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to take some water on the back that guy probably never got a splash of water on the back of it, But
That-
no,
that's
it
a
does not leak.
Different environment.
It is. Totally different. For sure.
That's the ocean.
But no, I'm pleased with it. Like I said, for that price, I'm just like, I couldn't pass up on it. I thought,
Yeah.
so I snagged it.
The hole that we're talking about is worth what you paid for it.
Yeah.
You know, like the motor and everything else aside, like the hole is worth $6,000.
Yeah.
The whole and trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you slap them together, and
Yeah. No, that's what I thought.
no. One of the reasons I didn't buy a boat like that is because I would be sucked into this giant ass project because I have to have everything the exact way I want it. So
Yeah.
I just bought it the exact way.
Yeah.
But I was real tempted, and someday I might just. I would want a 20 just for what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like to fit as many people on there as possible, and then
Sure.
to be able to haul a big live well. But I've really thought about buying an old beater 20-foot deep V with the walk-through windshield, stripping it down to nothing,
Mm-hmm.
putting a brand new motor, and then building the live well, building all
Going
that
my
shit.
way.
You
Yeah.
know, Yep.
Yeah.
Thought real hard about that. And
If this one was in 17.5, it'd be a good candidate for something like that.
yeah.
Because this didn't have the trolling motor on it. It didn't have the electronics they want, and I was okay with that
Well,
because
they
now
all
I can buy
can.
what I want.
Exactly.
You know, I can
Yeah.
put what I want on the front versus being stuck with, well, this is what it's got. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm cool with that.
We'll say as far as electronics go, use the Garmin. I've used Lowrance. I've used Humminbird.
How would you rank them? A, B, and C, just like our fish fry today.
I won't yet because I haven't used Lowrance enough. But
Yeah,
what I was getting at was, so far I'm really impressed by Lowrance.
yeah.
Really, initial thoughts. I've only used it like 5 days. I've had 5 days on the water with it, but my initial thoughts are, man,
It's a good one.
it's the image on the side imaging is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've used the Garmin pretty religiously the last 2 years.
They have good imaging.
Yeah.
The durability is my bitch about the Garmin.
Yeah.
Like if it didn't cost me an extra $400 in the plates that it mounts onto,
Mm-hmm.
then I'd feel a lot better about it.
What was your experience on the Humminbird side then?
Really good image if you know how to dial it in. Like if you understand the settings and can play with it, which I got to the point where I was pretty good at playing with it. I would get really nice, clear, crispy images and could spot fish really well. The Lowrance does it all for you. That sounds great, but I'm assuming there's going to be an instance where it's not so great. I just haven't ran into it yet.
Gotcha.
But I will say, the first fish we put in the boat was that 43 pounder, and I saw him.
Yeah.
I hit a mark on him.
I want that one.
I hit the mark. He was where we set up, he was 85 feet away. I casted it 84 feet, with the angle, the depth. I figured it'd be 2 to 5 feet in front of him. And apparently it was, because he ate it. And his buddy didn't, though. And I don't know which one was the bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw two. I'm like, you're really big and you're big. Like I will take either of you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if he was
Which
the
one it
big or
was.
the really big.
And that's where you throw your live scope out there and you can see which one's which.
Right.
Coming at
Stays
you.
behind.
Yeah.
Right.
My boat's not to that level yet. We're working on it. Go trapping with you guys sometime this year.
You should.
You should.
You should. I'm going out next weekend. Snares that are out but just pulled tight,
Right.
so I don't have to get up at 3 in the morning. So I'm gonna open those up this weekend and then run them this weekend with Stella. So it should be a good time.
Saturday morning?
Yeah.
So tonight's Wednesday?
Wednesday.
I might go Saturday morning.
Okay.
What time are you waking up?
Whenever.
No, what time are you waking up?
On the weekends I usually don't get out till 8 or 9.
Yeah, 7 or 8.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no rush.
Yeah.
It ain't going nowhere.
I think
Yep.
count me in.
Okay. And
Yeah,
it'll only
fine.
take a couple hours.
I'll have to be gone by 10:30 because I have Thanksgiving
Okay.
with my grandma.
So we can get up by 8, have you gone by before 10:30.
Oh, that's
So
easy.
I'll be here. I'll be here at 7:30,
Okay.
just so we can for sure be rolling by 8.
Yeah.
Tentatively count me in because there's a possibility I forgot something.
Yeah, go for it. You'll have fun.
Yeah.
I'm out of town. Otherwise, I'd go. I fly out tomorrow morning at like 6:30.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get back till Monday.
You should be catching blue cats.
Yeah. Definitely should.
All work, no time. I get it.
No, there's time. If you-
All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Tune in next week. I'm gonna have a trapping video next week. So I got footage for a few different videos, regular fishing stuff, and ice fishing coming up.
And if you don't have time to go fishing, you're too busy.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a
See
good
ya.
week.